Under the same moon, we share the love. Embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. And now do we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to Watching the World. It's a delight to see each and every one of you already in the chat participating. Today, we're going to talk about a big topic: Donald Trump, Epstein, Elon Musk, and maybe a little bit about Sean Puppet Combs, but not a lot. Before we get started, though, I just wanted to go over with you something that might put money in your pocket. About a year ago, a little over a year ago, I told everyone on Facebook to research this stock. It's called Rocket Lab USA. And at the time when I told everyone to research it, it was $5.12. Do you know how much Rocket Lab is worth today? So whoever can put the amount that Rocket Lab is worth today in the chat first, I will send you $25. So go out, check out the current value of Rocket Lab, and you will receive $25. The stock has gone up tremendously. I bought thousands of shares, and I'm pretty sure many other people bought it too, but they made a lot of money. So I'll be looking out in the chat. Whoever posted, you will receive your $25. So let's get right to it when it comes to the President of the United States. As many of you know who follow this channel, I attended Sean Diddy Combs pretty much every day of the trial, including the jury selection, right? And one thing that I learned about the trial is that all these accusations come out, then you go to court and find out many of them are not even true. So right now, even when it comes to Donald Trump, I know a lot of people do not like Donald Trump, folks, especially in New York. They're not a fan of Donald Trump, but we do have to be careful that we're not just falling for every little detail that people claim that they might know about an individual, especially when it comes to the president. For instance, there are so many rumors that ties him to Jeffrey Epstein. So people run ahead and they color in the different boxes to make it appear that he did this and that. But when it goes to court, or come down to the real facts, most of the time it's not necessarily true. But anyway, let's get to some of the videos here in regards to what's currently in the media when it comes to Donald Trump. We're also going to go through Epstein. We're also going to touch on Carmelo Anthony. I'll be covering this case as well. Let me see if okay, so look at this here. Angela was the first person. So Angela, you're going to receive, actually, I'm going to give all three of you guys $25 each. Angela says it's at $45.95, folks. So when I recommended the stock, let me put it back up for 1 second. When I recommended this stock, you see how much it was. It was $5.12. So yeah, folks, we made a killing, and I helped put a lot of money in people's pocket. I do not give financial advice, but I do share my walk because I am an investor. This is what I do every day, all day, when I'm not making these videos about what's going on in the news. Okay, so stay tuned, folks. Some of you have asked me to go over these stock matters and credit matters with my background in finance, but I won't be able to do it on the Facebook page. I will put it on my Patreon. Maybe at night sometimes I'll just do a few videos, but for the most part, I don't want to clutter the page with a lot of information about stocks. I will do the same as I did today, share some information maybe at the introduction of a video or two. So thank you guys. Angela, Eric, and Mashona, all of you guys get $25. Thank you for participating. Let's get to Donald Trump, though. And we have a bit of a conspiracy theory going on, and I want you guys to help me investigate. As you know, I like to investigate. That's what draws me to this field, being able to investigate the facts, folks. Check it out. All right, so this is the video, and I wish I could make it bigger, but this video here is after Donald Trump is shot, okay? But notice what happens when it comes to the photographers and also Secret Service men, and see how strange this is. Remember, I told you guys yesterday, in the case of the missing minute in Epstein's video, whenever you have that, you'll have conspiracy theories till kingdom come, right? You're always going to have it. I don't care what you do or say. Somebody's always going to say, well, that missing minute, that's when they went in, and, you know, just so many theories. Now, this video, let me show you how it's going to cause many people to think that this was staged, because this is what they're saying already, folks, when you look online. But let's break it down. Okay, so you see this guy here in the middle? He's a Secret Service guy, we could assume, because he's dressed as the individuals that are surrounding Trump on stage, right? So notice there's a stairwell that the lady or someone over to the right is going off of stage. Notice he's going opposite. The president is already down, and the Secret Service are surrounding him, okay? Now notice this guy in the middle that's kneeled down a bit, walking away from the incident.
Shot. Oh no.
He's off the frame now. He's going to do something, okay? And I'm going to get to the comments in 1 second, but I want to lay this down.
No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him.
Okay. So you see, they're covering Donald Trump. Some people are going up and down the stairs, right? But notice who comes back in the frame from the same place that the Secret Service guy just left from. Check it out, folks.
We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. We love you.
Okay, so now you have photographers coming into the frame. Now, this is what's shocking. They don't really know at this point how many shooters there are, who's in the audience that might be a part of a scheme. They may not even know at this point that a gentleman was shot in the crowd, right? So now you have photographers coming into the frame. This is where people start to go astray and start to wonder, right? Check this out.
President Trump.
Okay, did you see the Secret Service guy? He's walking the photographers back around. So he's right there in the frame. I'm going to pull it back a little bit.
President Trump.
Okay, so there you see the Secret Service guy. Same guy that just left the frame. He's walking the photographers back towards so that they can take pictures of Donald Trump. Now, some people are arguing. They're saying, well, maybe he just happened to be walking back into the frame. Now we're going to see how he's going to protect the photographers, folks. Check it out.
We love you. Yes. Yes.
So you see so the photographers, it seems that they're selected. Not sure how this works. Maybe this is a part of how it normally happens, but it's not normal for a president to be shot, I would imagine. But check this out. So you see, look to the right, the little guy, I'm saying little, but the guy in the Secret Service looking uniform, he's protecting the photographers. And then Donald Trump is on stage setting up for his, fist in the air. And this is probably one of the most amazing shots that's ever taken, right, of a president with him holding his fist in the air. But look how they pull this together. It's rather strange, and this is why people are saying this could have been staged. Now, I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just bringing you the latest news of today. That's all I do, folks. This is not a shot at Donald Trump. This is not a channel against Donald Trump. This is just a channel that brings news. It could be about Kermit from Sesame Street. I don't really care. If it's good news, I'm going to bring it to you. So look at him. So again, you see the guy, the Secret Service guy, go and get the photographers, folks. This is like stranger than fiction. But anyway, let's get to the comments a little bit before we get away. There's so many people commenting. All right. Okay, Sandy the Queen says, I don't believe it's real. Okay, that could be a possibility too. Some of these videos could be off, but it could be true too. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to do more investigating. Miguel says, this is so funny because when it happened, that was the first thing I thought because of Trump's melodramatic reaction. I thought to myself, oh, this is a bunch of bull. Yeah, a lot of people feel like you, Miguel. Miguel, thanks for locking in with me. Thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, all you do. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing more of you. All right. Thank you, Mashona, for telling everybody to set their notifications on so they don't miss the information. Okay, so another person, Midget, says that this is fake propaganda. Okay. Well, maybe, but anyway, it's what's floating around online today. So we'll take a look and see. Thank you for posting the Patreon, Mashona. I appreciate you so much. Okay, and you're welcome, Angela. Very good. All right, very good. Okay, so let's get back to the video here. And they're actually walking Donald Trump out, I think, in a bigger frame. You would see, if this is a real video, it appears to be, they're actually going to walk him out at this point to a couple black SUVs, although it's not in this particular frame.
It could just be his ear. It could just be his ear. He's walking.
It's amazing how many people are floating around when it could be a still active shooter situation. This is the part that's quite perplexing and very puzzling when it comes to this particular case. So we're going to run this back for people that just came into the room, but we're just discussing how conspiracy theories are born and how videos like this give them so much life, folks. Yes, indeed, it gives it so much life. So much life.
Dude, that's fucking wild.
It's almost like, hey, before I go and seek medical attention, let me get this perfect shot in. Although that may not be the meaning, right? But it almost seems like, in the middle of all the commotion, you get one of the most fascinating pictures known to man of a president right after he's surviving being shot at or shot. And he puts his fist in the air and says, fight, fight, fight. I mean, you can't make this up. But some people say they are making it up. So we're just trying to understand how they came to this conclusion with this video.
The president's been shot. Oh, no.
Okay, so we're starting over again, right? I wanted to loop it so you guys can see it a second time here.
No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him. We love you. We love you, President Trump.
And you could tell these guys, they really love Donald Trump. Let me go back again. I want to show the people that just came in the frame of the Secret Service guy. He's actually walking out. Let's just go back again.
The president's been shot.
Okay, so there's the Secret Service guy. This is what all the commotion is about today on social media land, right? They're saying that this is staged because you have the photographers on deck ready to take pictures. That's not my position. I'm just simply creating conversation for those in the audience for the chat. So the Secret Service guy, we assume he's Secret Service because he's dressed as, it probably wouldn't hold a lot of weight, but he appears to be Secret Service, folks. He's walking off the frame. He's going to get the photographers, right? Donald Trump he's already been shot. And he's laying there. He's surrounded by Secret Service by the podium. And you see people going up and down the stairs to your far right.
Oh, no. No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him.
So at the time, those in the audience, they don't know if he's still with us, as they would say. They don't know his true condition. They just know that he went down.
love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. We love you, President Trump.
Okay, so now you see the photographers coming back into the frame. Okay, they're coming into the frame. And then you're going to see, okay, already here, you see the little Secret Service guy there. Let me pull it back.
We love you, President Trump.
He's with the photographers right here. He's kneeled down. And like I said, this still could be an active shooter situation based on, there's very limited knowledge at this point, right? Okay, so he's walking these photographers around to take this golden shot or to get a better shot. No, we're not talking about shooting. We're talking about photo shots to get a better shot of the president.
We love you. Yes. 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 We love you, President Trump.
And from what I saw online, other people, you know, there's always naysayers to every theory. They're saying, oh, no, this guy just happened to walk out. He happened to walk back in with them. But now we're going to see how he's actually protecting. I don't know how he could protect anybody from a shot, but he's trying to protect the photographers. Check it out. You see him? He's kneeled down. He's guiding the photographers. You see that? Photographers, they don't appear, I mean, basically, they're standing straight up. They do not appear to be concerned about being shot at, which is, you know, they just might be bold characters, but it's something to think about. So now that's when you see the president. So let's stop focusing on the Secret Service and the photographer. Now just focus on okay, there you have it. Donald Trump has his hand in the air, his fist in the air with that iconic shot right now. I paused it basically at the perfect spot. So this was made possible by the Secret Service guy. Perfect timing. Like who told him to go get the photographers? I mean, is there a manual out there that says, you know, under these circumstances, we have, you know, get the photographers on? I mean, I just don't know, but I'm just explaining why everybody is up in arms about this video. And some in the audience today are saying it's not even true, but we don't know that either. We live in a time now where anything could be anything, but this is what's floating out there, folks, and I'm just bringing it to you so we can discuss it. Okay, Black Barbie says clownery. Okay, Maddie says I want to know if the same SS. The chat is moving so fast. I have to. Okay, here we go. Same SS detail is the same one he has used before. Okay, very good question. Very good question for you. And I have to work on showing your comments. I have to think about that. So here we go. I'm going to definitely work on that. Okay, so I'm showing Maddie's comment now. Okay, Black Barbie is laughing out loud. Okay, Jordan says, when I saw it, I knew he would be elected. Politics is so low vibration. I thought the same thing, Jordan. You're right on the money. I mean, the timing of this happening, it almost made him beyond life. And I'm not a person that's actively against Donald Trump. I even submitted to be able to attend the White House for press purposes. We'll see if I make the cut. But anyway, I like covering Donald Trump. I've been covering Donald Trump for 5 years. Latrell, good point. Crisis actors. Hey, you make a good point that there could be some validity to that. But you guys see my point? This is the reason why we have all these conspiracy theories. The other day when I showed you the video about Epstein and how that 1 minute is missing and it just jumps, now people will continue to think that something happened to him. It would be very hard to dispel those rumors. And that's the reason why I think Donald Trump is going to have a hard time getting over this whole situation when it comes down to Epstein. I think it might really ruin or damage his legacy. Brandon says it's fake. Okay. And again, folks, I'm just posting this for conversation purposes. I'm covering what's in the news today. Facade for the sons and daughters. This was staged. Does it appear to be staged to you? Do you guys feel the same way that facade for the sons and daughters feel? A lot of people online feel that way. Slimmy does things, do things. If you protect PDFs, most likely your hoax, your own assassination to get the presidency, very first stretch, but maybe possible. Wow. A lot of people feel like this is staged. Man, I have to definitely factor what you guys are saying in. I thought it's just simply a conspiracy theory, but I saw this video. Maybe, guys, we have to go research the video. Let's research this video and we'll pick it up again at another time. Slimy do things, the dead civilian, none of their families even give a statement on the gentleman. Only the news reported him. I have that coming up. His family, I have video I'm about to play of his family speaking on the matter. So that's something to think about. Remember now, Alex Jones took a big financial hit because he said that, and actually it's not far from me over in Connecticut. Remember, I forget the name of the town. It's new something, right? No, I forget the name of that town. But anyway, he claimed that it was a hoax of some sort, and he's paying an astronomical amount of money. So that's something to think about too, folks. Okay. Maddie says it's so. Oh, yeah, that's right. Newtown. Thank you, Nostrell. Appreciate that. Maddie says it's staged. Okay. Drabanot. Shout out to you, Drabanot. Good to see you. I did a deep dive into the shooting after more information was available and concluded it was not staged. Okay. So Drabanot says it was not staged, folks. After Drabanot did a deep dive, and Drabanot's been around quite some time, and it's nice to hear your remarks in regards to this matter. Howard G, I just think the people talked to the police about a guy being on the roof. Now, that's a big issue, guys. How did this guy that was 20 years old manage to outthink the Secret Service, the local police, right? He was able to basically go there and figure this whole thing out. And from what I understand, there was no ladder. There was no ladder at the place. So he must have scaled the building if he did, right? Fish says our government would never unalive someone. Okay. That's a good point. Jordan says more information was created. Okay. Maddie says it's more than a minute. Just come out of it over 2 minutes. Okay. So that's with the Epstein case. Yeah, so we covered this Epstein case thoroughly with the video. I think it was 2 days ago at lunch. But we will continue to cover this. Gotta go the way says it's not staged, y'all. Okay. Deborah says she feels like it was staged. Okay. All right. Okay. Jordan says, unfortunately, the gatekeeping is real, and after they hear him being critical of things and even having the audacity to question the narrative, he will likely be blackballed. He, as in Donald Trump. One thing that I always said about MAGA that I appreciate more than I saw with the Democrats is that they supported Donald Trump. I went to Donald Trump's trial, and I sat there and I heard the allegations, and they seemed to be pretty strong with the case they laid out. I said the same thing about Diddy. The feds, they don't call you to court, folks, with a bunch of baloney. These people, they know how to cook you, and they'll cook you slow if you're not paying attention, right? So make no mistake about it, the feds, I've watched them twice in the Southern District of New York dismantle Donald Trump, and he also did the same number on Diddy. I do think that in the case of Sean Puffy Combs, the jury, they used their brains and says, wait a minute, this guy's not a mob boss. And so they did not, find him guilty on the 3 major charges. But again, the government, they pull up all your records. With Diddy, they went back as far as I think I saw 15 years, and I was in the courtroom every day. With Donald Trump, they were going back for years with all of his information, and he was a former president of the United States. So it's definitely something to think about. Maddie says, my neighbor is a sergeant from the Canadian military. He said no, Trump wasn't hit by that bullet. Some people that I saw online, that's why I wanted to bring it to you guys today. Some people are saying that there's no scar on his ear. Now, I haven't looked that deep into this, but that's another big point of contention. So it's mind blowing, just to think about how these conspiracy theories, some of them may have a bit of truth to them, but they are definitely something that we should consider. Butch says the only live CNN broadcast of Trump's rallies. How convenient. Okay, very good. Mashona says, I think because they didn't have enough security and the roof was low, so he was able to get up there. Yeah, also there was an air conditioner with I think they had some sort of pipe or what have you going up the building. So a young guy, pretty strong, probably could scale the building. So that makes sense. It's not out of the mark. Okay, so let's get back. One more, guys. I want to get everybody. Why are people still obsessed with the shooting months ago? Well, the reason why they're talking about it right now is because Sunday, I believe, was the anniversary. And as you'll see in my next video, Donald Trump actually speaks on it. And plus, people love the conspiracies. Everybody likes to argue. If you talk about something worthwhile, most people are going to pass it over. But if you get a subject like racism or something like that, people are going to go back and forth all day. It's just the nature. It's human nature, right? Maddie says it's more than 1 minute. Okay, so we're covered on the comments, I think. All right. Mashona says, I think the jury, while they look at evidence, they also use their feelings. It's easier to convict someone you don't like, okay, and it's hard to put someone away for what amounts to life for being a deviant. Okay, good. Now, what I will tell you guys, I was at Donald Trump's trial. I hate to keep beating the same point, but the jurors, there was 3 attorneys, and from what I could see sitting, looking at the jury, being in the main courtroom for Donald Trump's trial, all of the jury members appeared to be Democrats. I'm telling you what I know. I looked at them very well. For several days, I examined these people. They did not appear to be beyond that. I could be wrong. I'm just giving you my personal, that's what I walked away thinking. I'm like, this guy, definitely a Democrat. So when it came time, I would come back on my Facebook. I wasn't as verbal on YouTube, but I would go back to my Facebook and says, hey, Donald Trump is going to be found guilty on all charges. And that's what happened. The Southern District of New York is nearly impossible to beat them. And Diddy, he had a good result. He didn't beat them 100%, but he did probably the best that a man could do under those circumstances. Nacho Cheese says Trump is a criminal. Okay, that's Nacho Cheese opinion. Okay. Bashona says you could easily climb on my daddy's house. It's an old shotgun home. All you need is a chair and you can help you up. Okay. All right. So some of these houses, but for an industrial farm-like building, well, again, he was young and it looked like he really planned it out and knew what he was doing. But it does make you wonder, like, what is this about that they could not get to him before he got to the president? Okay, Roy says there was a photo just released of Trump's assassination attempt. The bullet was caught in a photo during the flight. I saw that. There is a photo, and I remember the photographer that took the photo. Okay. Nacho Cheese says Trump and Jeffrey Epstein best friends. Okay. They did know each other from what we showed on videos the other day. They appear to know each other. Okay. Psycho Ward says they appear to. Yeah, that doesn't sound racist. Okay. All right. Lone Wolf and Lion Cub. Hey, Brother Mel. Shout out to you too, Lone Wolf. Nice to have you on. Nacho Cheese says Trump knew Epstein like women on the non-adult side. Okay, Latrell. Shout out to you, Latrell. Latrell keeps coming back. Lock in with me. Well, you already have. Shout out to you. I'm a retired police officer after 22 years and have been on several presidential details. Oh my goodness. There's no way anybody just climbed onto the roof, if you ask me. Now, this is coming from a guy that was a former police officer and also worked on the presidential details. So when you get these type of comments, folks, it makes you wonder. Latrell, you're welcome to come up one day with me and let's talk about presidential detail, or I don't know what you can and cannot talk about, but let me know and I'll be glad to bring you up. We want to know the backstory. That's what we're here for. Okay. Deborah Hill says, I wonder how a Democrat looks, Mel. Look very Democratic. I'll tell you that. All right. Look very Democratic. And I also heard after the fact that my assessment was right. So, but I can't really get into that right now. But I will someday for you, Deborah. I'll break it down. I don't mind going there. Michonne says the views and opinions shared in the chat are those of the person making them and does not reflect that of the host. Thank you, Michonne. Shout out to you. Michonne is a heavy hitter. I love it. Butch, you don't have to like Trump by how you could not like America first. I think you meant to say, but how could you not like America first? Great point, Butch. Great point. You live in a country. That's a solid point. You know, if you're living in America, how do you necessarily hate it? Ryan, because it's ignorant. Okay, Ryan shot back at Butch. Friendly fire, I hope, guys. It says it's ignorant. Okay. Ryan, expound. Tell us why. Roy, if he was a presidential detail. They do an investigation. The shooter used a ladder to get on the roof. Now, Roy, from what I understand, there was no ladder. Maybe I was wrong, or maybe I was daydreaming at the time. I could be wrong. But I thought that was one of the points that he didn't. They were trying to figure out how he got on the roof because there was no ladder. But so let's research that, guys, for the next show. Tomorrow at noon, we'll talk about it. I'll research that. We should want America first. Right on, right on. All right, Latrell, thank you. Brandon, shout out to you, Brandon. How are you? Butch, Ryan Beans, been America first is ignorant. Okay. Nacho Cheese, I don't care about the fake assassination. Trump needs to answer for his cover-up of the Epstein files. That's what the people want to know. People are very upset about this. Yes, indeed. Okay, so let's get back to the video and now pick back up with Alexander's comment here.
It could just be his ear.
So you could clearly see that this Secret Service individual is protecting the photographers. So if anybody has a great explanation as to how this all came to be and how it makes sense, we would love to hear from you.
Just be his ear. He's walking.
And this what makes me think this video is solid, because when you look at the original videos that were released at the time, the president came down, they went to the left, and they went into these black SUVs. It looks like this is what's occurring at this moment, although it doesn't show it in this frame.
Take a look.
Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the event of the shooting, and also we're going to get a general synopsis of what's occurred since then, because we are, believe it or not, where did a year go? We're at a year since this shooting took place.
What happened
1 year ago.
That looks real to me. For those that say that this is acting, he would have to be a heck of an actor.
Today, then candidate Donald Trump nearly gunned down by a would-be assassin at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
This is a very dangerous job.
The president speaking out about his near-death experience and the failures of the Secret Service in a new interview with his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, that aired on Fox News last night.
They should have had somebody in the building. That was a mistake. They should have had communications with the local police. There were mistakes made, and that shouldn't have happened.
A new Senate report released this morning saying there was a disturbing pattern of communication.
All right, let's see who knows what in the chat. So he said there were mistakes made. Put in the chat what are some of those mistakes that you think were made. He did not itemize them in the video, but I want to hear what you guys are thinking.
Failure between law enforcement agencies and negligence that culminated in a preventable tragedy, and that the consequences.
Do you guys think that being that Pennsylvania, and I've been through there before, is such a small town event, you think because they had Secret Service and they had the local police there, that maybe this is the reason why the communication went south?
Imposed for the failures so far do not reflect the severity of the situation. Both parties have questioned the security failures that gave a 20-year-old gunman the opportunity to shoot at President Trump and kill.
So a 20-year-old came in and outsmarted the local police and the Secret Service. And if you watch the original video, maybe one night we'll go through the actual video breakdown. People are actually saying there's a guy on the roof with a gun, and it seems like that there was a big delay. How did he get off the first shot? This is the Secret Service, folks. I could understand if it was the local police, right? But we're talking about people that are trained to protect the most important person probably in this world is the president of the United States.
Corey Comparator, a firefighter who shielded his wife and two daughters.
So this individual here that was shot, for people that says that this is staged, like here we have a actual individual that had a funeral. And as you'll see coming up, his wife is going to actually talk about what happened along with his two daughters. What are your thoughts, folks? All right. Butch says, let's see. Alexander actually says, do you understand, Bordier, where both sides get to decide who will be on the jury? You could tell by looking that the jury, who was a Democrat, I call irrelevant. It's a jury of his peers. Okay. All right. That's a good point. Sekhmet says, and that's just my opinion for what it's worth, just like your opinion. So it's not a big deal. All right. Segment says, but want American people first, not greedy corporations and politicians. Okay, good argument. Frank Avalon, Epstein files. Yep, we're going to get to the Epstein files in a few minutes. We're going to actually see what Donald Trump thinks about the Epstein files. He wants them to go away. Stop talking about it. Christina, now, boys, get along. Shout out to you, Christina. Thanks for checking in with us, Christina. We like having you around. All right, drop or not. There is a body cam and a phone footage of him moving from roof to roof. Yep. They made the mistake of not putting someone on the roof or at least monitoring it. Wow. Okay. Sonia, that was a good point, drop or not. Sonia says, you know very well that Trump was a Democrat when he was hanging out with Epstein. Okay. All right. Brandon says, how are you? Shout out to you, Brandon. Okay. Butch, billions spent on illegals and not American citizens. You make a valid point. We hear you loud and clear. And that's a big issue. That's why we're having so much contention here in New York. I covered, folks, if you want to go back and look at some of the footage, I covered No Kings. I covered that all the way to 10:30 at night. I was one of the last people to leave that protest. And believe it or not, some people were stabbed. So it was very dangerous, but I committed to cover it. And that's what I did. I'm not afraid of New York streets. Okay. Nacho cheese. How about mankind first? Okay. That's a good point. Maybe that's the spiritual side of it too. I'm not sure your total angle, Nacho Cheese, but good point. One Love says he did use a ladder. Okay. Plus he was on the phone minutes before Okay, so he did use a ladder according to One Love. Okay. I'm not sure what they were talking about in the video I watched. It. Howard G, we do want America first, but we know for Trump, it's him first. Okay. All right. Good point. A lot of people feel like that. Mashona says, welcome to, thanks for joining. Okay. Nestor Ray says, I think it's all stage bullshit. Okay. A lot of people feel that way. That's why we're actually covering this, folks. Jerry says it never happened, but 2 people died. Right. Good point, Jerry. Sonia says this is staged. It's hard to believe it was staged when you have, but again, some people say it was crisis actors. Again, in Newtown, Connecticut, Alex Jones took a big hit financially for saying that, putting out those claims, and they were able to prove that they were false claims. Nacho Cheese, why are you looking into Trump's fake assassination attempt? Dude was a Republican and a Trump supporter himself. Okay, well, it's in the news. We cover anything in the news. It could be frivolous, it could be happy, sad, whatever it is, we're going to cover it. William Bell, that's because you're a part of the system. Okay, all right. Troy says, shame on the tinfoil hat-wearing losers claiming this was a fake or stage. Okay, yep. That's a good point, too. But only CNN and MSNBC will say it was staged. Okay. Deborah says he's a reality TV dude. That's a fact. He had a great show, though. I used to watch that show. Nacho Cheese. The Apprentice was the name of the show. You're fired, right? Nacho Cheese. They planned it to get sympathy for MAGA fans. Okay. A lot of people said it happened so that he could win the election. I get that. Good point, Nacho Cheese. Spencer Cancer says, look closely. When he comes up, look at his hand in the air closely. Is there something in his hand? Okay. We'll have to take a look at that. Roy, you can't stage an assassination with a bullet that travels over 3,000 feet per second. Blood is seen after he was hit. That's a valid point, a very valid point. William Bell, 10 minutes prior to the shooting, over 50 people pointed that somebody's on the roof. I saw that. You even saw people running to get police and point to them. Look, somebody's on the building. You are a part. Okay, good point. Tim says Trump loves you. Okay. I guess he's talking about everybody. Ernest Smith says no. Ernest, you might be my cousin. We both have the same last name, right? Okay. So this is a conversation in the chat. Cleta says the main mistake was trusting the Secret Service. Again, that's a discussion that people need to have. Like, didn't right after this happened, there was a discussion about are some of the Secret Service neutral? Are they Democratic or are they Republican? It's definitely a valid conversation. Shout out to you for that insight. Howard, we can't trust videos. AI can make anything look real. Why wouldn't Trump or the Secret Service fire people from the detail? Supposedly, Trump has his own security. I hope he does, especially after that happened. All right, so let's get back to the video. We're going to get into Epstein, I believe.
2 weeks after the incident, the director of the Secret Service resigned. And this week, an official with the agency told NBC News that the Secret Service suspended 6 people without pay for their actions. Though Comparator's widow says she wants more done.
Suspending them when my husband was killed, that's not.
All right, folks. So these are the individuals that people are pushing the narrative that they were crisis actors. Like, to me, that would be mind-boggling. Like, somebody has to know these people in real life, right?
Husband was killed. That's not punishment.
Okay, so before we get into Epstein, I'm going to cover a few more. Trump is not the good actor. I'm not Trump supporter, but believe this whole event is at face value. Mistakes happen to everyone. Okay, Sekhmet, good point. Bill says, what are you talking about? Outsmarted you. Got damn near 50 witnesses pointing him climbing up. There's some witnesses. Rain even got the police, and the police see him climbing up on the building, and they got. Okay, I think you're answering somebody in the audience. All right. Desert Fish says those who say it's actors are getting paid to say it. Okay. All right. One Love says the event went just that was it supposed to. They had orders from Biden, who hired the Secret Service head. Okay. Nacho Cheese. Trump planned it all for the fist photo. That's what people are saying online. They're saying that this was all staged. Uda on go. Come up, Uda. Where you at? Oh, let me drop the. I'm sorry, guys. I'm supposed to drop the. Come on up. If anybody wants to come up and talk about it, come on up, folks. I dropped a link in the chat for anybody that wants to come up. Deborah says, respectfully, Trump wanted to fire the Secret Service. Ironic, they had to guard him after number 45. Okay, Uda says, salute Mel in the chat. Uda on go gang. Okay, Bill says, because they were part of the system, just like you, when you see a clear evidence, you still wish to believe if you're a part of the system to stop. Okay. I don't know if this is directed to me because my personal views are irrelevant, really. Doesn't really matter. I'm not here to push an agenda. So, Uda on go. Likes up, everybody. Appreciate it. Shout out to you, Uda. Roy, I agree with your comment. He did outsmart Secret Service and the local police. Yeah, that's 20 years old. And this is what these people do every day. Okay. Nacho Cheese. Trump knows what's in the Epstein files. It's him. That's what Elon Musk is saying. He's saying Donald Trump is in the file. Now, remember, he's a part of Doge, and they went through the files. Not necessarily those files, folks. I'm just, but he knows a lot. And notice the government is saying about a list, but Elon Musk is talking about files. And there is a difference, folks. There's a difference. What is it that Elon Musk knows? And it appears that he's not afraid to speak his mind. So this is going to be very interesting, and we have to keep grabbing the popcorn, folks. Trump was hit by a bullet. Okay, that's a true statement. Okay, Bill says when you got damn near 50 witnesses. Okay, I read that already. That's a repeat. Nacho Cheese. That's why you will never get them. Okay, all right. Uda says, how's everybody in the chat doing? Hope you and the families are well. Shout out to Uda. Trump wasn't hit by a bullet. That's not blood. That's hydrologic fluid from the bullet striking a hose on a scissor lift. Okay, never heard that one before. Michonne says, welcome in, everybody, and thanks for joining. Turn on the notification so you don't miss out on the great information. Okay, great. Yes, indeed, guys. We will be back on tonight to talk about more of these matters that are heavy rotation in the media. William Bell says, I don't have an opinion. I got facts to back it up 100%. Okay, William, come on up. Talk to us. I'll give you the floor. I dropped the link. I'll drop it again. Come on up and drop some of those facts. I just say be respectful. I approach everybody respectfully. This is not a matter of who's a Democrat, Republican, or whatever else. We're just talking about what's in the media today. Roy says Trump was hit by a bullet with a cross section of 0.224 of an inch. People want to say it's fake because they don't understand what he was hit by. Okay, that's a good point. I don't know how anybody could stage a bullet, a real bullet. Now, if you're debating that he never was hit and it was fake blood and all this stuff, that's a different concept. But who would risk their life to try to win an election? It wouldn't make sense to me, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so guys, thanks for all the likes and so forth. Shout out to everybody. He was never hit by a bullet. Okay, all right. Okay, all right, let's go back. We're going to pick up with Bill again, but let's go to the next video, Epstein.
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't.
Now, I will say Donald Trump, when he ran, and I was going to pull up the video and show it to you guys, but we only have a certain amount of time for lunch. But Donald Trump was, when he ran for president, he was talking about these issues and how it was important, and he was going to reveal it, right? So now in this video, it appears that he's changing his position.
I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand.
So he says that the Epstein files is boring stuff. It happened a long time ago. You know, basically, you need to get over it.
And why it keeps going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
All right. So for the record, Donald Trump says anything credible, let them have it. So he's okay with releasing the facts, folks. You can't hold it against him now. He says, drop the facts. He's not holding it back. William says they did have people monitor the roof. Stop it. You never know the president to go anywhere in the open field like that, or they don't have snipers who are y'all people. Are y'all immigrants? Okay. All right, William. Come on up. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm ready. Butch, it's a fact that Epstein went to the White House 25 times during Clinton's presidency. Okay, I've heard that. Somebody said that in the chat the other night. Bill Clinton, they try to say that he was caught up in this whole matrix too. Sam says bullshit. That was really okay. All right, Uda on go says respond to the polls, folks. Okay. Allen defended Epstein, Dershowitz, namely, and David Blaine, the magician, both attended Epstein Island. Plus, Allen has photos of 47 with ladies on his lap with stains on his pants. Okay, I cannot confirm any of that, but I do know I'm trying to get Dershowitz on the show. I think I can do it, even if I have to pay, folks. I'm going to get this guy on here, whatever the cost. He did say he was found not guilty. I did not go into his file. I don't know a lot about Allen, but I do want to have him on this show to talk to the people. I have some interesting people, high-profile people coming through, folks. So that's why I'm trying to get the house packed up and full so that when these opportunities come up, we have a lot of people in here. And believe it or not, a lot of people are responding. The numbers are growing. I appreciate everybody in the room. Nacho Cheese says, dude got hot by glass. Bullets weren't close to him. I heard that. Okay, so you're saying he got hit by glass. Okay, that's just a typo. It's okay. Yep, that's what they're saying. They said it was fragments that hit him. There's so many different takes on it. You know, I like to hear them all, but to me, it just seems really weird that they would stage a bullet. One shot killed a guy. One shot hit a hydraulic hose and a scissor lift spraying hydraulic fluid on the stage. That's not blood. Okay, same comment. Listen, we got facts, man. Over 50 people. This is from Bill, guys, from William Bell. Listen, we got facts, man. Over 50 people saw the man climbing the building, and that's what it was, at least 30 minutes before the... Hey, listen, I'm with you. It's not me. I covered this thing. There's a guy that breaks it down to the T. I mean, he covers just every angle, even the distance, the bullets, the guns. So one night, very soon, I'm going to do a watch party. We're going to go through his video. It's very convincing. I mean, to stage this, you would have to be doing everybody would have to be in on it, in my opinion, but that doesn't mean that people don't have a valid point. I'm just saying, to me, it sounds strange. Okay. Nacho, a good man, a husband and father, lost his life. That's not fake. Okay, Tribes. Okay, shout out to you. Trump was never struck by a bullet again. Okay. Maddie, his head angle and the bullet pick wouldn't have been close to his head. Okay, Maddie. Shout out to you. Howard G. It could be that the shooter was set up. He could have thought that he could have got away with it. It could be like the JFK shooting. Okay. Good point. That's a good point. I think some of the files were released on the JFK. I'll have to get into that. We'll have to cover that too on a rainy day. Okay. His ear doesn't even have a scar. I hear that, but I have not confirmed that. Segment says, how was the event staged when a man died? That's a good question. That's the point. That's the point I'm saying. Not to say it's not true or anything. I'm just saying it's mind boggling, but I understand how people like the video I started off with. It leaves room for this type of debate to go on. Okay, guys, we have 188 people in the room. Hit the like button. Share, what have you. Thanks for the support. Okay, how was the event staged when a man died? Okay, cartilage doesn't grow back. Okay, the ear cartilage does not grow back. Good point. All right. Shona, thank you for welcoming everybody. Demetrius Young, a person I know in real life, my ride or die. Shout out to you, Demetrius. Thank you for being here to support your boy. Demetrius know about Demetrius. I think she bought some of that stock. I started off telling you guys how I was promoting Rocket Lab stock when it was $5 back in June of last year. I trade every day and I trade at a high level, folks. Tons of money. Now the stock, that one stock that I bought thousands of shares of, is now at $45, I believe. So definitely on the Patreon, I'll be covering most of that stuff. Credit repair. I don't charge. It's not my service. I'm not in any of the businesses of that sort, but I used to, and I'm just sharing just common knowledge for people because they're starting to ask me more and more about these things. But I don't want to do it on the channel. I want to keep the channel about this, and I like sharing your comments. If people don't want to hear the comments or whatever, I know it could be frustrating, but I think everybody wants to be heard. Okay, I'm saying it was staged. I'm saying Trump never got hit by the bullet. Okay, Job or not, shout out to you. Communications went south because local police who covered the building the shooter was on were on a different frequency than the Secret Service who covered Trump's area. Okay, now that's a great explanation. That's one that I could definitely get with. Neptune Red, 2 words, Epstein, and the list. That's what everybody wants to know. Let me ask you guys in the comments, do you think Donald Trump can pass on from this whole Epstein situation and it'll just die down? Or do you think this could be the undoing of his administration? What do you guys think? All right. Nacho cheese. You mean Trump's DEI derangement syndrome? Okay. All right. B. Marquette says it was complacency. Security had the attitude of a cop directing traffic. Was just another day, and they were not on their A game. Good point. Nacho cheese. You want to make stuff up? So will I. Okay. Segment says another Trump person here, but believe the event happened. Think Trump has milked it for everything he could and still can. Okay, Howard G, I like your stream. I like how you include everyone's comments. Kudos to you. Yeah, everybody wants to be heard. We have time. You know, check in when you want to, but I like covering the comments. Rebecca White, OMG, oh my goodness. Maddie, blood doesn't stay that red for that long. Okay, wow, that's the point. Okay, Mishona, let's get those likes up. Okay, thank you, Mishona. Rebecca, wow, he staged his own assassination. Stranger than fiction, I must say. Okay, guys, so let's get back to the video. Donald Trump, he was asked, should he deport Elon Musk? This is probably one of the best videos I've ever watched. I'm going to tell you right now. Check it out, folks.
What happened to Elon Musk?
Who?
What happened to Elon Musk?
Nothing. You know, he's a
So the person asked, what happened to Elon Musk? You know, he got the boot or he left, but listen to Trump.
said that he's losing his EV mandate, and he's very upset about things, but you know, he could lose a lot more than that. I can tell you right now.
So he lost the EV mandate, and Trump is saying, really, he could lose a lot more than that, right?
Hey, Elon can lose a lot more than that.
So a lady in the background says, are you going to deport him? This is golden. Watch what Donald Trump says.
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon.
He said they may have to put Doge on Elon. That is too funny.
You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon.
He says Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon, folks. Go back and eat him. That is too funny.
That'd be terrible. He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But
so, for those of you who follow me from Facebook, Elon does get a lot of subsidies. People get mad when I post things like that, but he gets tons of money. And here we out here complaining about the everyday American. That's crazy.
Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car.
Now, Donald Trump is saying not everybody wants the electric car, but I do have the video where Elon Musk either gifted him. I think in the video he claims to have purchased it, right? I believe so. Now he's saying who wants an electric car?
I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, you know? So I'm going to give that one to Peter. I'm going to let Peter test it out.
So he says he might like a hydrogen car, but it could blow up, folks. I don't think we want a hydrogen car.
No hydrogen cars. And when they blow up, it's serious. They find you 5 blocks away. It's that bad.
Okay, so did you see this post here? This is the final thing we're going to touch on today. It seems that J.D. Vance has an announcement about 2028. What will it be, folks? Is he lining up to be the new winner? Do you guys think that this is on the conspiracy theory? This is something that I heard this morning. People are actually saying that the powers that be, the real players, they've had enough of Trump and they're trying to move him out of the picture. That's why all these shoes keep dropping that are negative about him, and that they're trying to line up J.D. Vance. Now, remember, how many people in the audience know how J.D. Vance came into the picture? Wasn't it by means of Elon Musk? Elon Musk had a lot to do. I think they had a deal on the back end. Who knows about that? So in conclusion, before we go, for the people that just came in, we have a lot of people. Guys, please hit the like button. We're going to look at this video one more time, and we're going to see what the hype is about when it comes to the conspiracy theory. Check it out. All right, so you see this guy here. We're going to watch this one more time. He appears to be a Secret Service guy. Donald Trump is already down. He's already been shot through his ear, and the Secret Service on stage has surrounded him. And you see the snipers on stage, on deck. Also, you'll see people going up and down the stairs on the far right. Notice this Secret Service guy is going away from the stage, right? Notice who he go and get.
Shot. Oh, no. No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him. We love you.
So the people are wondering, they don't know if Donald Trump is still alive, what's going on, but they're professing their love for the king, right?
We love you, President Trump. We love you. We love you.
Okay, so now you see Secret Service coming, the photographers coming back into the frame.
President Trump.
And look, in the middle here, they're being escorted by the same Secret Service guy that left. So people are trying to say that this is all staged. I'm just showing you why this is the big discussion today online. All right, so he's guiding the photographers back. Now, remember, Donald Trump had this photo of him fist bumping in the air, and this is how the photo was created, all because the photographers were led to him, right?
We love you. Yes. 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 We love you, President Trump. No.
Some people are saying that this Secret Service guy was just happened to be walking through, but I'm going to show you now where he's actually there protecting the photographers. You see him? He's kneeled down. He's protecting the photographers. See, he has his hand on the back of the photographer in the blue shirt, right? So this is why people are saying that this is staged online. I'm not saying that this is my thoughts. I'm just here to bring you, we're just discussing for lunch what's big in the news today, folks. That's all.
It could just be his ear. It could just be his ear.
Some people have expressed they think this video was made up by AI. I don't tend to think so. I think that this is a video of someone actually in the audience.
He's walking.
Now, if you could prove me wrong, I'll definitely take that. But I think that this is because it ties in nicely. It dovetails to the original video we saw where Donald Trump comes off the stage. He does his fist bump, and then when he does the fist bump, comes off stage, and then they go to the SUVs.
Dude, that's fucking wild.
All right, so let's get back to the comments, and then we'll wrap it up for today. All right, Rebecca White says, bull crap, okay. San Diego says, Biden has the same files, okay. Kelvin says, nasty Trump, okay. I can't pronounce your names with those letters. I'll call you Rue. You can see the scissor lift lowering because a bullet tore through the hose. Now, I'll have to go back and check that out. I like stuff like that. Shout out to you. Guys, hit the like button, share, and subscribe if you like the material. We're working on some big things to get more information, especially from the White House. Okay, especially also when it comes to Epstein. San Diego, Trump's saying it's a hoax is weird as foo. Okay. Drabanot. Snipers facing a shooter were blocked by trees. The only sniper team had to turn around and reset. That sniper team shot the shooter. I remember that. San Diego says, hi. Shout out to you too, San Diego. Rue says he didn't have blood coming out of his ear. You only see the blood when he comes back up and it's on his hands, not his ear. Okay. All right. John Doe says he's on the Epstein list. Okay. Tell us what happened. We want to know. Maddie says Virginia was hired by Trump. Okay, at Mar-a-Lago. Okay. All right. Demetrius, Trump is in the files. That's what we're hearing. We're hearing that. We have to see if it's true. Rue says wasn't. Troy says was. We have quite the conversation going on. Howard G, he may have been kicked by a bullet. Oh, okay. May have been kicked by a bullet. Okay. Ruth says, watch the video. We're definitely going to look at the lift. You said the lift went down because it was hit by a bullet. I think I did hear that on the news. I think those bullets were flying. I forget how many shots he let off. Tell us, folks. I know we have some people in the audience. How many shots did the shooter let off? Ruth says, you can see the scissor lift slowly falling. That's not blood, and it wasn't. Okay. All right. John Doe says, I'm on the Epstein list. I work at Disney World. Okay. All right. All right. Maddie says he wasn't hit. We all know that anyone who puts holes in their ears know that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So they're saying that when a woman or man gets holes in their ears, it doesn't bleed like that. That's a concept. We have to look at that. Ruth says he wasn't hit. It's not blood. Okay. Nikki says, what time tonight? And are you on Eastern? Or oh, yeah, I need to start saying that. I forget. We have people here from around the world. So tonight it'll be at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. We'll come back on. Okay. Maddie says nothing with Trump makes sense. Okay. All right. Troy says it definitely was blood. Demetrius says Trump was risk his life for lesser. Okay. Nacho cheese prices are not dropping. Wars are getting worse. Epstein files are not released. Trump lied to you guys. Okay. So he lied to the MAGA group or the Republican Party or the American people. Okay. Maddie, no, it wasn't. Okay. Well, you have to say that Donald Trump had a heck of a story, though, because he was able to come back. Especially, I told you guys I attended his trial, 34 felonies. He was waiting to be sentenced, and the guy won the presidency, and they threw the case out. So that's one heck of a story, folks. Okay. Okay, Ruth says you can see the lift on the video, losing pressure because the hose was struck by a bullet. Okay, all right. Mashona says, please like, share, and subscribe and support the channel. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, very good. Thank you, Mashona. We have so many comments. Gear Jammer says, Trump is a legend. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, folks. The facts are the facts. The guy pulled off things that no one else in life could potentially pull off. I mean, he won again after I saw him sitting in court. Now, he was sleeping all day, I will say that, but it was a boring trial. Diddy's trial, as I attended that trial every day, it was more exciting, more facts. You get a chance to see Cassie and Don Rashad, and you see some of the agents come in. You know, those type of trials are exciting. Now, listen, guys, just so you know, I'm covering different things, but my real format is covering the trials. So I will be attending quite a few trials coming up. Luigi Mangione, I'll definitely be covering that every day. I'll cover Carmelo Anthony. Definitely. I have close ties to that whole back group for that case. So when I go down, I'll be able to get you some really good exclusive information. Not sure how that trial is going to go, but I'm just there to cover it so that people can get a sense of what's happening and try to also discern what the truth is by not talking about salacious stuff. A lot of people, they make up stuff, they lie about it, they just make up stories. I saw people make up stories at the trial. It's just so mind-blowing to me, you know. I'm like, how did we sit by each other and you could actually say these things happen when it wasn't mentioned? So yeah, folks, we're going to keep doing that. Maddie says, I believe that. Okay. Gear Jammer, I'm on the Epstein list. Oh, we got 2 people in the chat that were on Epstein's list. Wow. All right. Demetrius Young says, crisis actors is a thing. That's definitely true. Yes, indeed. Howard G. Trump wasn't the president when he got shot. Right. That's a fact. We know that. I think everybody, for the most part, pretty much know that, but thanks for pointing that out. Frederick Noriega, God knows the truth. Okay. Maddie says, Michael Wolff saw the pics with stains. I saw that. Saw it online earlier. That's trending too. One Love says, Alan said it himself. I saw that too. And again, I'm trying to get him on the show, folks. We're going to get we're trying to get to the facts. Segment says, now Trump is actually telling the truth. First time I remember. Okay. All right. Okay. One Love says, check out Candace Owens' video on Epstein. Also, the Sidebar podcast. Okay. So I was actually on, if you're talking about Sidebar with Law and Crime. So guys, I was on Law and Crime several times. I enjoyed working with the group there. And we have a lot of interesting things coming your way. Just stay tuned. So that's it, folks, for today. We covered what's hot in the news when it comes to Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Epstein. Right now, Epstein is hot. And I don't think it's going away. I don't think it's going away. And there's so many different takes on it. But it's beautiful to see all the comments. We get a rounded view. Some people are on the far left, some people on the far right, and some people are in the middle. So thank you guys for tuning in today for lunch. It was supposed to be a 30-minute show, folks, but it went an hour and 15 minutes. Would you believe it? What did we talk about for that long? Hey, thank you guys, and we'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Thanks for locking in.
Different voices, but the same song. Building a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the freeze inside. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. The colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.